Hello, gang. It's time for another darker side of spirituality. Yes, it's been a while since we've done one of these. Mainly because I've been sucked into bloody event stuff, sorting out bowls over February. I've done all the promo now. I've just got to post it. So yeah, I've got a little bit more time to do some talky content. So today I am talking about spiritual prejudice. Now, anybody who follows me, this isn't going to be a major shock, okay? But for anybody who doesn't, and you might have stumbled across me, yeah, this is the stuff that you need to know. Now, on the outside, looking in of spirituality, and let's be clear, I know that word turns a lot of people off, mainly because of the rhetoric that's shoved down your face, okay? Spirituality basically means finding you happy, knowing your worth and value, and finding you happy. That's it. Yeah. On the, to the outside, it can look kind of zen and yoga, or angels and love and light and new agey and stuff like that. And all you have to do is go and look at branding and advertising from a lot of spiritual event organizers, and they talk about unity and oneness and we all came together. Sorry, Rosemary, but if I'd put that, I'm just saying. But it's not. It's actually factions, groups, and a lot of hatred, sadly. Now, nobody's been victim of this more than I. Being a split between a witch and a spiritualist with a sprinkling of Shiva, I've had to take a lot of prejudice and abuse. There's no way of getting around it. Now, the sad fact is that people don't actually understand what spirituality is. Spirituality stems from what we know as Hinduism, which basically means the eternal way of life. Okay, Hinduism isn't really a real thing because the white man just misheard the word Indra. Yeah, it's not actually, it's not religion. People think Hinduism's a religion. It's not. It's not. Buddhism stems from the eternal way of life. The Buddha being an avatar of Vishnu. However, it's been trodden down. It's been put down. It's been wiped out. And as I always say, within you go to a spiritual event, and you'll see virtually no Hindu deities. You might get the odd Ganesh. That's it. It's only really, from what I've seen, a couple of the retailers since I've started working with Shiva who have introduced some more kind of Hindu-based deities and stuff like that. The sad fact is the majority of it is witchcraft or pagan based items, hell of a lot of Egyptian stuff, and the Christian based doctrine, angels and stuff like that. That for me raises questions in the grander scheme of things. Well, why has the Hindu element been completely smudged out? This is why I'm going for a Hindu-based theme with the new wave events. Let's get it back to its origins. The stories within Hinduism are fascinating and tragic and bloody and you know what I mean, and more real. The reality of the situation. Spiritual war is real. I'm sorry that people don't like me using that word, but that's what we're in. You take the more love and light spiritualist church-based element. Well, that was founded because Christians started seeing and talking to dead people. That's not allowed in religion because that would negate the concept of heaven and hell. So they've taken Christianity, the religion, and formed their own spiritualist section of it. The New Agers, they're the aging hippies, who kind of founded the word love and light. Yeah. And despite, again, that starting with people like the Beatles going to India and getting high and speaking to some gurus, have kind of lost the way as well. They're so like just stick to themselves, and the amount of people that say to me on a regular basis, just send love to it. Doesn't fucking work. Don't work. It's patronizing. It's insulting. Yeah, I've been and had attempts to remove me off events because of what I preach, what I believe. Attempts to have me removed because of the way I look and the way I dress. Because I don't constantly listen to Zen music or frequency-based music. I've had attempts to have me removed because of my work ethic. Not because I'm a lazy worker, but because I'm a hard worker and it makes them look bad. Most of what you see in the branding and advertising is a crock. Most of these people at these events are at war with each other. They hate each other. They'll wish each other. Most of what you see and most of what is run is by covens of witches, not spiritual people. Granted, you could say that witchcraft is a form of spirituality and crossovers and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. Don't have an issue with that. But they're pretending to be something that they are not. Now, at the point of the ascension process that we are at now, and I said this in some content a while ago when I talked about the new wave and not being pulled into anybody else's drama anymore. People have kind of found their cliques and their factions. Now, sadly, there are still people trying to manipulate, sway, and control people who want to align themselves with me. Now, I won't ever stop anybody from going to another event, standing at another event, if you're at a new wave event, because that would make me as bad as everybody else. And I'm not going to do it. But that prejudice towards me and what I preach still remains. I've had refusals, people haven't even said anything to me. So, right, case in point, right? When you're running an event and you're doing the promotion, you'll say to the person standing, can you send me a photo? Can you write me a bit of blurb in regard to what you do or how you read, etc., etc., etc. Now, running events myself, yeah, unfortunately, you do sometimes have to change the wording. Mainly from my side when I do it, it's not because there's anything in there that I think, oh no, can't have that on there. It's not because of a word count. And when you're looking at things like postable leaflets, you're limited. So it's not that I'm having to take the words out or restructure it because I'm trying to, oh, we don't want that on there. No, it's because of word count. I've virtually never had an event organizer allow me to put on the publicity the UK's most controversial reader. They don't like that. And the most common one is when I send a photo that I want to use of myself, they don't come back to me and say, oh, Richard, I'm really sorry. We don't want to use this photo. It looks a bit aggressive or whatever the excuse is. They go onto my Facebook. They found an outdated photo of me getting on for 2 years ago now in a waistcoat, and they put that on there because their prejudice thinks that if they put me as me and my branding and my spiel, my shtick, my quotes, my taglines, that is going to put other people off. The sad fact is, whether they like it or not, I'm one of the biggest draws at events. Not necessarily people coming, but when they get there. Why? Because I'm different. And they come along, and even if they don't have a reading with me, they say, you're a breath of fresh air, you're a bit different. But their prejudice in regard to me not fitting in with the culture, the system, and more importantly, their religious beliefs, because that's what they've turned into. They've turned into religious people, shows prejudice. Now, based on what I've said there, not just about me, but about people in the community, When you go to an event and you go, atmosphere was a bit funny in there, despite seeing all these smiling faces, it's because there are stall holders there who cannot stand each other. They're at war with each other and they're in competition. And this is why, for the new wave events, I have said I'm picking the retailers, the readers, and the healers myself. There's many people who aren't going to get onto my events because I want the best atmosphere. I'm not prepared to have people there who are going to cause a scene, bitch and gossip, throw stank energy. I've given people the benefit of the doubt in 2025 and given them an opportunity, and they've wasted it. So yeah, come into a new wave event in 2026. You can expect the best atmosphere. As I've said in my branding, we may not be the biggest, but I'm bringing you the best. So yeah, next time you're at an event, just clock what the energy feels like. When you're around a stall, see what the energy feels like. How does it make you feel? Don't always use these. Use that. So yeah, prejudice is rife within spirituality. Ta-ta.